Gentlemen, let's start with a little honesty between us. How many times has a woman, maybe a neighbor, a friend, or even a stranger at the grocery store, asked you a harmless little question like, "So, do you live alone these days?" Or "Who cooks for you now?" Or maybe, "Do you ever get lonely living by yourself?" You probably smiled, answered politely, and thought, she's just being kind. But what if I told you that question wasn't just about curiosity? What if that was her way of saying, "I'm interested in you," without actually saying it out loud? See, most older men, good, decent, humble men, don't realize when a woman is flirting with them. They've been out of the game for so long, they think romance retired along with their career. But I'll let you in on a little secret. Attraction doesn't retire, it just gets smarter. Women in their 50s, 60s, and 70s don't flirt the way they did when they were 20. They don't bet their eyelashes or drop hints about dinner dates. Oh no, they're much cleverer than that. They ask thoughtful questions, small ones that seem innocent, but they're really feeling out your energy, your interest, your openness. And half the time, the man on the receiving end has no idea it's even happening. I once talked to a gentleman named Robert, 74 years old, retired engineer, widowed for almost a decade. Every morning, he walked his dog through the park near his home. He always greeted this lady, around his age, walking her small poodle. They'd wave, say good morning, and keep going. One day, she asked him, "Do you always walk alone?" He smiled, said yes, and added, "My dog's the only one who keeps up with me." She chuckled and said, "That's too bad, you seem like good company." Now, you'd think that would make him pause, right? But he just nodded politely and went on his way. Weeks later, his daughter heard the story and said, "Dad, she was flirting with you." And his eyes went wide like he'd just solved a mystery. The next time he saw her, he stopped and said, "You know, you're right. Walking alone does get dull. How about coffee after our walk?" Her face lit up like Christmas morning. They've been walking together ever since. The point is, many older men miss these moments. They assume women are just being friendly. But sometimes friendliness is interest in disguise. Now, here's something I want you to think about. When you were younger, women might have flirted with laughter, looks, or a touch on the arm. But as people mature, they communicate differently. Attraction turns into curiosity. Instead of saying, "You look handsome," a woman might say, "You've got a really kind face." Instead of saying, "I like you," she say, "You seem like such a good man." And here's the twist, she's testing the waters. She wants to see how you'll respond. If you smile, make eye contact, and give her genuine warmth back, she'll lean in a bit more. But if you act oblivious, she retreat, thinking, "Oh well, he's not interested." You see, women, especially older women, are brave, but they're also cautious. They've had their hearts bruised before. They don't want to be rejected or misunderstood, so they send subtle signals first. And those signals often come in the form of questions, those little questions that older men so easily dismiss. Now, I can hear some of you saying, come on. At my age, women aren't flirting with me." My friend, stop underestimating yourself. You've lived through decades, you've seen love, loss, laughter, and life. You've learned patience, kindness, and how to listen. That makes you attractive in a way most younger men can't even begin to understand. You've got stories, wisdom, and a kind of calm energy that says, "I've been through the storm, and I'm still standing." You know how rare that is. Women notice that. Especially those who've been through their own storms. So, when she asks, "Do you live nearby?" or "How do you spend your weekends?" she's not just making conversation. She's saying, "Tell me more about yourself. Let me in a little." And if you really listen, if you stay present, you'll start noticing the little signs that go along with those words. The gentle smile, the way she holds your gaze a little longer than necessary, the soft tone in her voice, or the way she touches your arm while laughing. All those are quiet invitations. Little signals that say, "I like your company. I'd like more of it." Let's be real, for many older men, it's been a long time since they've thought about romance or attraction. Maybe your spouse passed away years ago, or you've been single so long that you've gotten comfortable in your routines. You might even believe that romance is something that belongs to the past, but life doesn't work like that. The heart doesn't check the calendar before it decides to feel again. You can fall in love at 20, 50, or 90. The difference is that older love is deeper, quieter, and often more meaningful. It's not about chasing butterflies anymore, it's about companionship, laughter, trust, and that little spark that reminds you you're still alive. So when a woman takes interest in you, don't be so quick to think she's just being polite. She might see in you something special, someone who's genuine, kind, and worth knowing. Let's talk about how women your age actually flirt. It's not the way Hollywood shows it. There's no dramatic hair flip or winking across the room. It's more subtle, more graceful. She might offer to bring you something she cooked. I made too much stew. Maybe you can help me finish it. That's not just about stew. That's about connection. She might compliment you out of the blue. You always look so neat. I wish more men took care of themselves like you do. She might laugh a little too hard at your jokes or tell you she enjoys your company more than she expected. And when you think about it later, you might realize those moments were invitations, small doors she opened, waiting for you to walk through. But most men, bless their hearts, are so used to thinking their flirting days are over that they don't even see the open door. Let me tell you something I've learned after talking with hundreds of seniors over the years. Older women aren't done loving. They're just done wasting time. They know what they want. They know what kind of man they are drawn to, and it's rarely about looks. They're drawn to men who listen, men who are comfortable with silence, men who know how to laugh, how to tease gently, how to make a woman feel noticed without making her feel pressured. They notice when a man opens the door, when he remembers her name, when he asks about her day, or when he takes a genuine interest in her life. Those small things are magnetic, so when she starts asking you personal things, how long have you lived here? Or do you ever go out for coffee? She's not gathering data, she's trying to build a bridge. Now here is the funny part. Some older men do notice when a woman is showing interest, but they don't know what to do about it. They get shy, flustered, or even pull away because they don't want to make it awkward, but let me remind you, confidence doesn't mean being smooth or saying the perfect thing. Confidence at your age means being comfortable enough to be yourself. So if she flirts a little, smile, laugh, say something light. Well, I might just take you up on that coffee, or careful, you keep talking like that and I'll start thinking you like me. It's playful, harmless, and respectful. But it also shows that you noticed her because that's what most women want at this stage in life, to feel noticed. To feel like someone still sees them, still appreciates them, still enjoys their company. And gentlemen, you want the same thing, don't you? Someone who listens, laughs, and makes you feel young again, not in years, but in spirit. So, let's say a woman asks, "Do you live alone?" You could just say yes and change the subject. But what if instead you smiled and said, "I do, but it gets boring without someone to share stories with"? How about you? You see how that changes the tone completely. You've opened the door for real connection. You've shown warmth, curiosity, and confidence, 3 things that never go out of style. Or when she says, "You're still so active, that's impressive," you could laugh and say, "Well, I try to keep up. Maybe you could join me for a walk sometime, and we'll see who tires first." It's playful. It's friendly, and it lets her know you're not blind to her interest. The truth is, so many older men let beautiful moments pass them by because they've convinced themselves that love, flirtation, or attraction is behind them. But life isn't done surprising you. Not yet. You've got a lot of living left to do. You've got laughter to share, hands to hold, stories to tell, and hearts to touch. So the next time a woman looks you in the eyes and asks one of those harmless little questions, pause. Take a breath. Notice the twinkle in her eye. Notice the tone in her voice. She might not be asking for information. She might be asking for connection. And that's the kind of question you should never ignore. Gentlemen, there's something deeply attractive about confidence mixed with kindness. The man who smiles easily, who listens carefully, who has a twinkle in his eye, that man never runs out of admirers, and you can be that man at any age. The years have taken some things, sure, but they've also given you something powerful, the ability to see what really matters. The ability to love slower, deeper, and more sincerely. So, don't shut yourself off from the possibility that someone might be trying to get closer to you. Don't brush off those questions with quick, polite answers. Engage, smile, flirt a little back. Because maybe, just maybe, she is not asking if you live alone because she is curious. Maybe she's asking because she's wondering if you'd like some company. And if you take nothing else from this talk, remember this: you are never too old to be noticed, admired, or loved. You are never too old to feel desired. You've earned your wisdom, your laugh lines, your stories, and someone out there sees beauty in all of it. So the next time a woman asks a small question, don't underestimate it. Listen to what's underneath it. Hear the real message. Maybe it's not, do you cook for yourself? Maybe it's, would you like someone to cook with? Life has a funny way of giving you a second chance when you least expect it. And love, my friend, has no expiration date, so stay open, stay kind, stay curious. Because the next time she smiles and asks, do you always come here alone? She might not just be asking for conversation, she might be asking for you.